Hello there, guys. This is Coil Knife, and welcome back to Phasmophobia. Today we are heading to the prison. Got my gear all ready to go. Before I head in there, I'm going to show you the layout. So, there's the map of the first floor. As you can see, this is a much bigger map than what we've been dealing with so far. Cell block A, I believe, is on the left. Cell block B is on the right. In the middle, the large square room there is a cafeteria. A lot of these smaller rooms here and there are offices. Some of these are processing hallways, like this long central hallway up and down here. There is a shower here, or rather a bathroom and a shower, where I'm pointing right there. And then there's one over here. And then there's a whole, I think this area right here, this is where you will go in, the red dotted lines here, those are all windows, and that's where visitors would go in and sit and talk on the phones, and then the prisoners are on the other side talking on the phones. There's an office right there. One thing I should mention about this map and the other big maps is that, see that green marker there right above the word prison? That is a camera that I did not place. That's a camera that's part of the map. All of the smaller house maps have one, and it's usually right outside the front porch as like a theft camera. But the bigger maps have them in the hallways and stuff. So before you head in, you can check them, and then every time you come back out to the van, you can flip through them all. And even if you didn't set up any, you've got a set of default cameras to flip through, which is good for looking at orbs. Since the breaker box, though, is right there on the second floor, all the way in, that's where we're gonna head. Now, the thing about the prison map, and the asylum map for that matter, is that because they're bigger, less people want to play them, which means I have less experience in them. So I'm probably going to be a bit more nervous going in here. Is that going to interfere with my gear? No, okay. Alright. There was a very tiny update earlier that got installed, and it looks like they've changed the whole yokai and Hantu has a greater chance to spawn thing. So now it should all be equalized. We shouldn't have to worry like about what ghost types we're getting. Let's see, breaker box, remember, should be right around the corner here. I think this is the warden's office. Yeah. Yep. Alright. While we're in here, every now and then the Ouija board can be in here. I think, or maybe that one time I was just playing with someone who moved it in here. Alright, we're gonna shut that off, and I'm gonna leave my flashlight pointing there. The processing area, there's the visitor room where you make the calls. There's like a, I'm not sure what to call it, a security office here? Interrogation and screening? Alright. Oh, I heard a door. Heard a doorway right. I'm gonna leave that there. Alright, so we've set foot inside. So the ghost is now doing things. Actually, if it's here on the first floor in this frontal area, that's really convenient. Because this is such a big map. And let me tell you from experience, having a ghost spawn in one of the cell blocks is ridiculous. See, my sanity's looking fine. Let me just... Are there any cameras in the... I could have sworn I saw a door open, like, here in the visitor area. Or rather, heard a door open. There's the catwalks above the cell blocks. That's B. That is the camera. I just came through there. See that grate there? I opened that, to get to the warden's office. There's the cafeteria. There's like a courtyard out back. What do they call it? I guess just the yard where they'd let the inmates go. That's the processing hallway. That's upstairs, I think. That's also upstairs. Alright. So these probably aren't going to be too helpful at the... Well, unless I leave the one on... I'll probably take some cameras of my own in there eventually. I want... That one, yep. See how that icon turned green right there? That's that main hallway between the cell blocks. I think the first thing I'm going to do... I'm going to take a couple of sound sensors in here. While I'm on this map, you should expect to see this hallway quite a bit, seeing as how it's the only way in and out of the building. We're gonna go have a peek at the sound sensors and see if they're picking anything up. Hopefully I placed them in such a way that they cover a good area without too much overlap. Because on a map like this, I don't want too much overlap, and that's exactly what I got. That's totally what I did to myself. Public visitation. That's a good sign, because it means that we're in the right area, roughly. It can be difficult to deal with because you can go into the visitors section here, right through the main hallway, but in order to get to the part where they would let the prisoners come in, you have to go around. You have to go into this hallway out here and down and around. I'm just going to head in and have a listen. Do you guys see my breath? Yeah, he's in there. Speak to me. Are you here? How old are you? try again in a minute. I think in this whole playthrough, that's the first time we've had a freezing temperatures ghost. Just in case he turns the breaker out. I'll lay that there. Are you here? He's tripped the breaker. Alright, so we're gonna head back to the van. Got a camera in there. Grab one of these. Let's find our camera. We want there we go. So this camera's sitting right there looking into that room. When the EMF reader went off, and I was right there next to him, it only went up to 4. That suggests to me... Now, there could be some ghost types that do EMF 5 in this list yet, but the fact that I was right there with him, and it only went up to 4... Oh, and I need to go get the breaker on again, I think. Yeah, I want this hallway lit up, but first, crucifixes. But I am glad that he's here on the first floor and fairly easy to get to. Put that there. Are you here? Where are you? We're getting nothing on the box, but I'm going to leave it on. There's a handprint on that window. We're good to go. Now, unlike previous contracts, where I kind of hung around a bit and maybe walked around the place to show you guys what the rest of it was like, I'm not going to do that this time. It would take me way too long. And having gotten the evidence I need, I don't want to spend any more time risking myself than I have to. Got fingerprints. I spoke too soon. We still have to figure something else out about him. Alright, I'm gonna check the van, check the camera again. Might bring another camera in there. He also might have written in the book at some point. Alright, so we've got freezing temps and fingerprints. Oh, so the good news. If it turns out to be a banshee, then it's going to be probably covered by the crucifixes I laid down, because for banshees, crucifixes are extra effective. I'm going to take an extra camera in there. Actually, no, wait. Let's be smart. Let me remind myself here. Banshee or Wraith. So if it's a Wraith, we need to see... We need to hear from the spirit box. And if it's a Banshee, we'll get EMF 5. So those are already in there. So we don't need to bring another camera or a book. What I do want to bring, though, is some salt. Speak to me. Oh, I'm an idiot. Are you here? Where are you? How old are you? Damn. That startled me so bad I forgot to look at the EMF reader. Are you here? Where are you? Give me a sign. So we're at EMF 3 and we've got no spirit box. I think we're going to give him some time. I'm going to run up and hit the breaker again. While I've got the sanity to make a trip up there. There we go. That's what we needed. Alright, so we have made it out. I want my comfort glow stick. I like these. I have half a mind to message the developers and be like, hey, can we please bring like more than just 2 glow sticks into a mission? Because they're not super useful, but I just like to have them. Alright, so freezing temperatures, fingerprints, EMF 5, we have a Banshee. The Banshee is one we haven't seen yet. And the Banshee has the unique ability or behavior where it will target one particular player. It'll like fixate on one player. So if you've got 3 or 4 people in there, it will have a set target, and it will harass that player, and eventually when it attacks, it will only go for that player unless you get in its way. Now, if you're between the Banshee and its target, then you're the new target. Now, if that person is not in the building when the ghost manifests and starts to attack, then it will pick a new target temporarily. But as soon as its original target comes back into the building, it should reacquire you as a target. Now, that was true. That was true originally. I don't know if that's ever changed. Excuse me. By the way, I should mention, if you're on any of the bigger maps, or any map really where the door opens outward, if you stand in here and the door closes because of a hunt, you will be pushed inside the building and locked in with the hunt. So if you don't intend to enter the building, it's not recommended that you stand right there where the door is, because it will pull you in if it closes, if the ghost closes it to start hunting. So yeah, so if you end up getting a Banshee and you're alone, it's really not much different than any other ghost, with the side effect of the crucifixes. So you remember in a previous video I mentioned how crucifixes affect an area around them that has a 3-meter radius. Is it 3 meters? Yeah, it has a 3-meter radius. Roughly 10 feet. Roughly. Not, I think slightly under 10 feet, but if the ghost is a Banshee, that radius gets extended to 5 meters. So those crucifixes I laid down, in theory, should keep anyone in there fairly safe for a little while, should the Banshee decide to spawn in that visitation room and start hunting. I think that's a wrap for this one. When Paul, because that's his name, when Paul decided to in my ear, my right knee just started bouncing, like in anticipation or nervousness or whatever you want to call it, excitement, and it didn't stop until I got all the way back out to the van. And I was like, okay, stop that, stop. Why can't I stop? So yeah, this game does set me on edge, even though I try to sound like I'm mostly calm and in control while I'm talking throughout it. So we're gonna call that episode a wrap. And next up, we'll be doing the school, and we'll save the asylum for last. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.